Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to Football Yannick. Today we're going to speak about Arsenal. I haven't spoken about Arsenal in over a week, and considering there's daily uploads here on the channel and Arsenal are such a big Premier League team, it certainly is time, especially considering a lot of drama around Arsenal relating to transfers. You know, you got Victor Gyokeres really wanting to going on strike, saying he'll never play for Sporting again. Noni Madueke potentially joining. Of course, they've got the midfield sorted out with Zubimendi. Maybe Norgard joining. They still need that proper winger on the left-hand side. Eze can play on the left, but he's not a winger. Are they going to get Noni Madueke? There's so much to discuss. So welcome back. I do want to start this video by offering sincerest condolences to those around the loss of Diogo Jota and his brother. Of course, it's absolutely devastating. It's heartbreaking. I did also speak about this in the opening of my video today on football therapy. I mean, it's brutal. You know, there's so much sadness and loss in the world right now. And people might say, oh, this is just one isolated guy. This is happening at mass in other parts of the world. Yes, it's true. But, you know, it's not a time for whataboutery either. It's just a really tragic loss to the game we all watch and adore every day. So, yeah, I mean, obviously, sincerest condolences. Very, very sad indeed. It's rocked everyone who's read the news. So, yeah, just very, very sorry to hear that, essentially. And I wanted to, even though I spoke about it on football therapy, I think it's important today of all days to recognize that and open the content with that, so, essentially a serious note. But we are here to talk about football, and I want to speak about Arsenal. Yeah, man. So look, first of all, Arsenal are very good. They are very good. They never get mugged off. They finish second all the time. You know, always the bridesmaid at the moment, but that actually means they're a good side. Not only are they consistently looking like a decent, well-coached, functioning team, but, they have, big, high-profile wins in there as well. They slapped up my mob a couple of years ago when we were under Poch. We lost 5-0 or something. Last season, this season, if you're counting it with the Club World Cup, but last season for them, they beat Real Madrid massively in the Champions League over two legs as well. So they have these, marquee results in them. But in between that, in terms of the long-term league campaign, they're just very good, man. So, I mean, defensively, they're good. They seemingly have locked down the two defenders long-term. I mean, they've already got good midfielders. Certainly in Declan Rice and Martin Odegaard, but they're adding Zubimendi. I think Norgard's coming, so the midfield's locked down. But they do need to sort out the attack. Bukayo Saka's undeniable on the right wing. He's an incredible young player, just so good, to the point where they actually overplay him too much. Maybe that's a little bit why, Noni Madueke is being linked, but maybe they're looking to play Noni Madueke on the left wing, where he's played a bit for Chelsea and England. Full England international, and won a recent Man of the Match award playing on the left wing in a competitive match. It might have been a 1-0 win against Andorra, but still, it is what it is. He's a high-profile player. He's a young player, Noni Madueke, and it's a well-trodden path, Chelsea to Arsenal, these last few years. But I want to speak about Gyokeres and Eberechi Eze. So, firstly, Eze is a lot older than I thought he was. He turns 28 this month. He's not a young player. I think of him as a young player purely because Palace brought him and then Elise as the best two young players in the Championship. That's kind of like what's logged in my brain. So I have them at the same age, but Ebe's like 5 years older than Michael Elise, which is significant. I guess he looks quite young, Eze, as well. So, he looks... Yeah, I just... In my head, he shouldn't be... He should be 28 by the time the season starts. So he's a senior player, which feels... I don't know, let me know what you think, but for me, that feels wild saying that. He's an amazing player, though. I'm just looking at his historical numbers, because, again, in my head, I was like, he's never really scored that many goals and, assists. He's more of like a eye test player in a good way. Like, he makes your team function, he makes your team click, he gets you up the pitch, he does the skill, he gets the pre-assists if he's not getting the goals and assists. Do you know what I mean? Just the heartbeat of an attack. But last season, for Palace, he got 8 goals and 8 assists, which is strong. The season before, he got 11 goals and 4 assists. So similar 15, 16 goal involvements, 11 goals that season. And the season before that, he got 10 goals and 4 assists. So he was if he scored an extra 2 goals last campaign, it would have been 3 consecutive Premier League seasons for double digits in goals. Palace, of course, have been fluctuating in form in that time, but he's an undeniable talent. The only thing that's blown my mind is that he's going to be 28 in this month, which makes me look at the signing differently. And maybe I'm looking at the signing through quite a Chelsea-centric view of like, we only sign under 23 players, so we know we've got them for ages and resale value and stuff. But Arsenal are just looking to add players to get them over the line. Now, Eze is that quality because he's all, I do think genuinely he's just awesome. I do. But interestingly, I don't think he's because they play at such a conventional 4-3-3 at Arsenal, and the wingers are like wingers. I know Martinelli's a bit more running behind, and Saka's a little bit more touchline winger 1v1, and that's why I kind of understand Noni Madueke, because he's so similar stylistically to Saka that he'd be amazing deputy, or even if Saka drops off a bit of form, you could start Noni Madueke on the right. But Eze, I know he's been farmed out on the left wing for Palace in England, but it's not his vibe, and he's not a winger. He's not a touchline, chalk on his boots, 1v1 winger. You want him in field, causing the damage from the central positions. So I don't really get it, especially considering, the number 8, say it's a 4-3-3, the attacking 8s, we had this vision when Arteta had a vision when he first signed Havertz that he was going to play Declan Rice as a sitter and 2 attacking 8s in Ødegaard and Kai Havertz, and even Lampard thought that when he was signed Havertz originally, that he was going to be this really attacking number 8. But it didn't work out, and actually what works better for Arsenal is if you have like a Jorginho or a Thomas Partey at the base of midfield, and now, Zubamende or whatever, and Declan Rice, it does much more effective work towards goal. So, is that the point? Are you going to change formation to a 4-2-3-1? But then again, you had to bring Rice back there next to Zubamende, and you drop Ødegaard, the captain, and you play Eze in the number 10. It seems kind of strange, doesn't it? Like, if I I'm going to look at Eze transfer mark to his positions. So his main position is attacking midfield, and he can play on the left. So if Arsenal play him on the left, maybe they make a hybrid system where he comes inside a little bit more. But I do think it would be a peculiar signing. It would be exciting for Arsenal fans just because he's wicked, he's good to go, and he will be going wherever he goes. He'll be like, even though he's going to Crystal Palace to Arsenal, he'll be 28. He'll be like, I am starting. Do you know what I mean? Like, you have to start me. I'm starting. He's a really high profile player now. So that'll be really interesting. I've already spoken about Noni Madueke. It's pointless me talking about it from a Chelsea perspective. I do that on football therapy. But yeah, I do think Madueke will be interesting. I mean, to be honest, a little bit like Eberechi Eze, he'd be an amazing Saka backup, Noni. And if he accepted being a backup to Neto at Chelsea to being a backup to Saka at Arsenal, I imagine Arsenal will give him a pay increase, to be honest, because he will be on very low Chelsea wages. Then if he's like, yeah, I'll get paid more money and I'll stay in London, great. Fine, totally fine, And then maybe part of him thinks, yeah, maybe if as soon as Saka falls off a little bit, I'll take his space. Maybe he's that ambitious. But they could play him on the left. But if they do play him on the left, I imagine he'll operate like he does at Chelsea on the left wing and England, and he'll be coming inside a little bit more. And that's almost like what Eze would be doing. So you wouldn't be having a conventional left-style winger. Very interesting, of course, big high-profile transfers in themselves. And look, Victor Gyokeres, what's going on? Like, Ollie Watkins has been linked with Arsenal, now he's being linked with Man United again. Gyokeres wants to go to Arsenal. He's said to Lisbon he's never going to play for them again. He's furious that they've not honoured this reported gentleman's agreement that he can go for like 60 million euros. You got the sporting director saying, he's going to go for at least 20 more than that. He's like, throwing his toys at the pram, but maybe, I guess he's got the right to be annoyed, but this is why you never do gentleman's agreement. You always have stuff done in writing, because you end up like this. And essentially, he's demanding much more, he's demanding to go for less money. And they're saying, no, you're worth more money. And he's now doing a Thibaut Courtois. I'm not going to play for you again. I'm not going to turn up for pre-season. which is not. It's firstly, it's a huge shame because he's done so well for Sporting, scored so many goals. They will make a huge profit on him regardless. He's done well at them. He's developed well. He's raised his profile. He's scoring Champions League goals. Ruben Amorim did great with him, of course, coaching him. So firstly, it's a miserable end, but he's obviously looking at it like a guy like, well, if I have to make it a miserable end here to get my most important move of my career, then I'm prepared to do that, which I think is still pretty sad. So he's also 27. He's just turned 27, so he's like best part of a year younger than Eberechi Eze, which again it's all backwards in my head. But yeah, really, really interesting because I think regardless, he wants to leave Sporting. I think at the point now, he's either like, I'll go to Manchester United or I'll go to Arsenal, whichever. But, I think he's just done at Sporting. Very, very interesting. Who needs him more? Wow. Who needs him more, Arsenal or Man United? Because Arsenal literally have been playing not even an attacking midfielder, a central midfielder as their striker against Real Madrid because they didn't have a striker. And their first choice striker isn't a striker in Havertz. And they want to win the Premier League. So you could, because of that, say Arsenal. But then again, Man United need all kinds of everything. So, it's tricky all round, basically. I'm just fascinated, man, to see where Victor Gyokeres goes and how he fits in. And obviously, he scored so many goals. How does that translate to, let's just say, the Premier League, if you go to the Premier League? But anyway, I want to get your guys' thoughts, so please do leave them down in the comment section below. Thank you, as always, for hanging out with me here, supporting the content. If you do enjoy it, why not like and subscribe? We're over 18,400 subs, which is amazing. So thank you for your continued support. And yeah, I really hope to see you back here soon. So take care. Peace.